events in Syria are discussed in the emergency session of the Arab parties in Damascus. Syrian Arab army advances against terrorists and closes in on their positions in Aleppo, Idleb and Homs. 7 terrorists are killed when they attacked a border camp in Iraq, whose army continues to chase the terrorists of al-Qaeda. Good afternoon, this is news in English from the Syrian Arab television in Damascus. Russian President Vladimir Putin discusses on a phone call with his Iranian counterpart Hassan Rohani the international conference about Syria, Geneva II, and the Iranian nuclear program. The media office in the Kremlin mentioned that the two sides stressed their adherence to settle the Syrian crisis in a peaceful manner. On his part, the Iranian president highly appreciated the Russian efforts in the framework of the Iranian and the Group of 6 negotiations. The Russian President Representative to the Middle East Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov stressed that his country considers Iran an important partner in all the Middle East files and the peace process. Bogdanov, during a meeting with the Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian in Moscow, said the dynamic development of the situation in the Middle East is very high and requires condensed bilateral communications, as it is important to exchange information and ideas. On his part, the Iranian official pointed out to the importance of success of this political solution, as the political solution is related to some countries abandoning supporting terrorism in Syria, stressing that the Syrian people are the ones who take their own decision to solve the crisis politically. The emergency session of the General Conference of the Arab Parties began in the Damascus Hotel in Damascus, attended by party representatives from 16 Arab countries. The agenda includes discussing political events in Syria, which is targeted by a terrorist war waged by Arab regional and international forces. The speakers asserted that the whole Arab homeland is being attacked by a systematic aggression organized by the West in collision with some Arab states priding themselves of collaborating with Tel Aviv to destroy the Syrian state, the cause of the Palestine, and the course of resistance in the Middle East. The leaders of Arab parties stressed the importance of supporting Syria, since it is the last strong wall in front of the steadfastness and resistance. Syria remains the powerful citadel that foiled the plots of the reactionary forces and their major ally of Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. The speakers also asserted that Syria's historic steadfastness, the imminent danger, would have had a very negative impact on every Arab country. The Union of Arab Writers in Syria, in collaboration with the Jordanian Association of Writers and the Popular Committee supporting the Syrian people, organized a seminar attended by Jordanian and Palestinian writers in the office of the Union of Arab Writers in Damascus. The seminar was entitled Together Along the Way of National Struggle. The speakers stressed the necessity of achieving cultural security and joint Arab activity in order to preserve national unity. In field developments and in Idlib countryside, the Syrian Arab Army units destroyed 2 hideouts of terrorists from Jabhat al-Nusra, al-Nusra Front, and the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant. All the terrorists in the town hideouts in al-Malaji and al-Fatira were killed or wounded. They included Saudi, Jordanian, Egyptian, Iraqi, Libyan, Moroccan, Tunisian and Turkish terrorists. In Hom's countryside, the Syrian Arab Army units completely controlled the orchards of Mahasa in the environs of the town of Qaryatain. Terrorists were defeated and one of their vehicles full of weapons was confiscated. In Lattakia countryside, the Syrian Arab Army units eliminated armed terrorist groups. The armed units also destroyed terrorists' weapons and ammunition, foiling an infiltration attempt of an armed terrorist group in Darabat al-Baz village in Al-Qom area, killing them, including the leader of the so-called Liwa Abu Mus'ab al-Ansari. The Syrian Arab Army units also targeted the hideouts of terrorists in Kafardalia, Salma, Tatia and Azway. The Syrian Arab Army units imposed their full control on the area of the factories to the east of al-Nirab airport in Aleppo, after defeating all the terrorists entrenched there. In Damascus, 2 citizens were killed and several others were injured when terrorists fired mortar shells on al-Qassah. Another citizen, who was wounded by a sharp nail near the garage in al-Zablatani, died. Later on, another mortar shell fell on the Umayyad Square in Damascus, wounding 2 citizens and damaging a passing car. Moving to Iraq, where Iraqi forces supported by military helicopters carried out a series of operations to chase terrorists of the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant in several Iraqi governorates. An Iraqi military spokesperson said that the operation resulted in the capture of 13 terrorists and the death of 3 others who were trying to plant explosive devices in the area of Ash-Shaqqat in Baghdad. The Iraqi forces also captured a storehouse full of explosive devices and detonated another device that was about to be used. The Ministry of Justice signed a memorandum of understanding in the aim of spreading legal awareness in all means.
The Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of Culture signed a memorandum of understanding about the spread of legal awareness and the spread of legal culture that protect the Syrian citizens from being misled. There is an international legal principle that said that the lack of legal knowledge does not protect the citizens from the accountability in case of violating the law. The Ministry of Justice also signed a memorandum of understanding with the telecommunication company Syria to spread the legal awareness through sending decrees, laws and notifications via the SMS service, which is the communication between the Ministry of Justice and the citizens, and for free.
By participating with the Ministry of Justice in this project, we aim to deliver the notifications by mobile, through the SMS, the text message. And by doing this, we simply hope that we will get rid of the paperwork, the bureaucracy. We can easily get the notification sent to the mobile phone of the addressee without him having to come and take his paper notification. And this will be cost efficient, time efficient. We will save time, we can save money.
And with this, we come to the end of our news for today. For more details about Syria and the region, and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Stay with us, the latest in economy with Vani after the break.
Good afternoon. Economy and Foreign Trade Minister Khadr Urfeli said that the ministry is working to activate work sessions under new basic criteria, related in the first place to the efficiency, experience and ability to work with what serves the national economy. The minister added that the core of forming such sessions will be with a number of friendly countries, the BRICS countries, some Arab countries and Russia. Brent crude oil slipped towards $108 a barrel, steadying after a week of sharp gains ahead of talks between Iran and the West that could lead to an increase in Iranian crude oil exports. European shares headed for a slightly weaker open, with investors posing for a breather after 6 straight weeks of gains and waiting for fresh catalysts to push the market back towards recent 5-year highs. Gold prices eased as lackluster physical demand and a retreat in other commodities prompted traders to lock in 3 days' worth of gains, although expectations that U.S. monetary policy would stay loose for the time being lent support. The dollar and euro stuck close to recent highs against the yen in Asia, though uncertainty about how long the U.S. Federal Reserve will maintain its monetary stimulus capped gains. With this, we conclude our news. Thank you for watching and goodbye.